Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be going over keyboard versus controller. And we'll pretty much be giving you the pros and cons of both of these choices. And we'll also be giving you something that might actually be able to mix both of these, in my opinion, making the best setup that you can possibly have. So I would really recommend to watch the video to the complete end because there will be some information that you will not want to miss in this video if you're trying to pick controller or keyboard or if you want to actually combine them. Alright, enough explaining the video idea. If you like the video, feel free to give it a like. That would really help me out. And also consider subscribing. We're about to actually hit 400 subscribers, which is a crazy milestone because we're actually getting really close to 500. So thank you guys a lot, and I hope you enjoy the video. Starting off with keyboard and mouse. And a fun fact about keyboard and mouse is a majority of the pro scene actually uses keyboard and mouse, or you can call it KBM, your choice. But pretty much the majority of the pro scene has used KBM for quite some time, mainly because controller support was added later in Slapshot 1, which just pretty much forced the majority of the pro scene to stick with keyboard and mouse. A fun history fact for you. Now, there are a few controller pros out there, so you're definitely not alone if you do become a pro and you play on controller. Now, on to the pros and cons of keyboard and mouse. So for the first pro, we're going to be looking at more control over your stick. Now, as you can probably tell, in like FPS shooter games, it's way easier to control with a mouse instead of a joystick. And that's sort of like the same thing in Slapshot Rebound. Not exactly the same thing, but I would definitely consider it much easier to use than a joystick. Now, onto the joystick part, I do actually consider it way easier to use for movement and dashing around because with a keyboard, you're not able to dash in every single direction. While a joystick, you can move a joystick in pretty much a 360 circle and dash, which is way easier than using WASD keys. So yeah, if you want really good stick control, I would recommend using keyboard and mouse, and if you want good movement like with dashes, then I would just use controller. Now obviously you can still have good stick control with controller, but it does give you a very slight advantage if you do use keyboard and mouse. So just giving you a heads up with that. Alright, moving on to controller. So if you're listening to the keyboard and mouse comparison, you can probably already know that controller is going to have good movement as one of its pros and probably poorly stick control as one of the cons. And to explain why I think personally the movement is better on controller is because you can swing your joystick in any direction and just click the another button to dash in that direction. While WASD, you're going in that straight direction. So if you click A, you're going to go completely left. If you click D, you're going to go completely right. And that control just really locks you in, while joystick allows you to go in a complete 360 motion wherever you really want to go. Now with the joystick, it also is a little bit more difficult to stick handle. I've personally tried it, especially learning. I felt very uncomfortable using joystick for stick control, but honestly you can still do it. You just might have a slight disadvantage with stick control compared to other players. So in a short summary, what I can kind of tell you in this is if you're looking for good movement, use a controller. If you're looking for better stick control, go for keyboard and mouse. Another recommendation that I can give you is just use what you've used for a while. If you've used Xbox controller for the past 10 years and just started getting a computer and you've only used it for maybe a couple months now, I would go for controller. But if it's the other way around, I would just go for keyboard and mouse because just use whatever you feel more comfortable with because that will actually help you in the long run. Now, if you're greedy and you want to try and mix both of these and get good stick control and good stick movement, there's a setup called hybrid, which is a mix between controller and keyboard and mouse. And as you can see in the picture, you will hold the controller with your left hand and use your right hand for the mouse. Also, you don't need a whack job of a controller. You can use a PS4 or an Xbox controller. I've tried it out. It works fine with both. Now for controls, I just really recommend changing it to your left finger. You'll pretty much use your left thumb for your joystick and then use your left index finger, I think that's what it's called, for your dashing, which should be your left trigger or left bumper. So if you're looking to get the best setup, then I would recommend using this hybrid setup because it mixes both the pros and cons perfectly and pretty much just gives you better stick control and also better movement. So that's pretty much all the setups you can really do for Slapshot. Obviously, you can do steering wheel, trackpad, all the other stuff, but if you really want to do that, I'm not even going to encourage you to even try it because you're going to lose your sanity. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. Once again, I apologize for the late upload. I've been just really having a bad burnout lately. Just really haven't been having a fun time with Slapshot. So I decided to take a small break. And well, I'm working harder than ever. So yeah. And also for the next video, we're going to be doing a Slapshot Gamers Are Awesome. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek if you watch till the end. And also, one last thing, if you want to join my Discord server, I chat there actively, ask questions, do a bunch of stuff. So feel free to click the link below in the description and join that. Alrighty, well thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.